Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes, facts,
Boots.
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Justin Wright and Bingo, the amazing Kangaroo.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the man, the myth, the man himself, Mike.
The man, the myth, the man.
I couldn't think of another M.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do legend. I just wanted to keep the M's going because the alliteration. But
yeah, the man, the myth, the massive douche. I don't know.
Well, no, because then you have a D in there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Mike,
It feels like it's been forever.
Well, it's
but
been a couple
we
weeks.
just took a week off. That was it.
Yeah, that was all.
It was 1 week.
Yeah.
I went on a little trip.
How was your trip?
Rode a horse.
Oh, was
First
it a
time in my life.
See, I've never rode a horse either.
I used to be deathly allergic to horses when I was a kid.
You're not
So
deathly
I took
allergic
a chance
anymore?
and just got on the back of that sucker and rode it around.
Did you break out?
It was
hives?
wonderful.
Okay,
Loved it.
well, that's awesome.
Loved it. It was a lot of fun.
See, it's funny you say that. I am also I guess you would consider more of a country person, or at least grew up that way.
Sure.
I myself am not one.
Really?
But I was always around animals and stuff like that. Like my mother and her husband have.
Not in a weird way, though.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Not like.
Sure.
My mother and her husband have like cows and stuff. Like my grandfather, like like
just in the house.
It's kind of like everybody around me knows stuff, and then I just chose not to.
I get it.
Anyway, all that being said, being around all that for a long time, you would think I just up until like 5 years ago hadn't even like gotten close enough to pet a horse before.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's a little
The amount of power in those things' back legs is scary.
dude. I felt bad for the horse. Number one, because I'm sitting on it, and two, they amaze me. Like it is a little bit of a spiritual experience, kind of. Because you're like, holy shit, there's another animal carrying me around. You know, that's weird. And then you think, oh, well, I'm a cowboy. Well, no, you're not, asshole. You're not a cowboy, but okay, sure.
At any point, how long did you ride this horse?
Well, it was about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Something like that. So it was a good period of time. Yeah.
So you had plenty of time of you and the horse and your thoughts, right?
Yes.
At any point in time during that, did you start to think to yourself what other animals you could ride?
I did, yes. I think about an elephant in a circus, and that's bad. Don't want that.
Well, what if it wasn't in a circus?
Because
what if you like go on like a safari in Africa and you travel on elephant? Way?
That'd be different.
Go on safari sounds like hunting animals, but visit
no,
Africa.
like a photo safari or something like that,
something
right?
like that, and you ride on the back of an elephant.
Yeah, if that's going to happen, my one requirement is that they lift me up by their trunk and put me on their back.
The elephant does themselves?
Yes, I need that.
If there's an elephant trained to do that, you have to think he hates every time he has to do it.
Yes.
So,
either that or he just chucks you.
Yeah,
just picks you up and chucks you.
He purposely like drops you a little bit on his ear.
Yeah. Take that, human. Let's see. What a camel? That doesn't look comfortable at all.
No, I rode one
unless you got the two humps.
I rode one as a kid at some petting zoo because it was the 80s.
Sure.
But
everybody was riding camels.
Yeah, at petting zoos in the 80s.
Sure.
I mean, they were promoting.
No, just in the streets.
Well, I'm saying they used them to sell cigarettes. Like that's how popular they were. You got to think of it.
Yeah, you collect enough of those bucks off the back of the package, you get to ride a camel.
Yeah, they were everywhere that they used them to promote cigarettes.
But he smells funny because he smokes so much.
And he always had a very basic first name. All named Joe. But no, it doesn't look comfortable. I'm just curious that once you ride one animal, if you think like, I could ride that one, and I could ride that one.
I mean, I've thought about riding a dog before, but that's kind of out of the question at this point. Yeah.
I'd have to be smaller.
Like Clifford size, that kind of thing. Red or not, I don't care. I don't see color. So, so we went on basically like a glamping trip.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, and it was a giant tent that we stayed in. But it had a king size bed in it, shower, clawfoot tub, air conditioning, the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But we left the flaps open.
When we're done with this podcast, we're going to need to talk because that sounds like something my wife would love to do.
It was glorious. It really was. Okay. And I think I got a sponsor out of it. So I kept talking to the people as I was there. I would text them back and forth. And because the coolest part about this trip is I was afraid that there would be no access to the outside world. Because I was told no internet access and that our phone stuff is spotty. We had 2 bars on our phone. So 2 bars is the perfect amount of bars. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're on a trip like this, 2 bars is enough to return a text, Get a call if you need it, but it's not enough to work.
That is true.
You see what I'm saying? Like
you're not quick enough to down. Yeah.
No, you're not doing any big downloading. You're not doing anything like that. So it was really nice. God bless Netflix also for allowing you to download things before you leave your home and then take them with you. So we were able to watch a couple of documentaries at night. After we came back from town.
What'd you watch them on?
Just laptop.
Okay.
Yeah. We watched the Pornhub documentary, which was just wonderful.
Wait, is there?
There is. It's on Netflix. Yeah. It's basically about an hour and a half. No, it's about it's about how the thing kind of started. It's not a lot, to be honest with you. There's not a lot of substance there.
Really? Well,
yeah.
Okay.
It's weird that a Pornhub documentary would be titillating.
No. This is going to be a very strange thing to bring up.
Yeah,
but
sure.
There was a
animals. You ever think about riding an animal during the Pornhub documentary?
No. There used to be a YouTube channel that I followed that was called.
Yep.
I'll just call it, how there's Freakonomics?
Yes.
Which I love.
I love Freakonomics. Used to show it in my class.
It was a video or a channel and changed the freak to Blankonomics, right?
Oh.
Okay.
Wait.
But it was.
What was the blank? Give me one of the letters. Doesn't have to be the first one.
U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And it was a woman.
Wait, there could be two U's. It's the one that sounds like freak.
Fine.
It's the one that kind of sounds like freak, right? I mean, if you were doing the alliteration, it would be the freak and then your U word. It starts with an F.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun.
Funonomics.
Truckonomics. Funds with trucks.
Okay. It's so fun. You know what? I think you dropped it last month. So here it is. It's fuckonomics.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Give me a second.
Sorry.
I need to recover.
And the woman who did the channel had one, and it was.
I said it last time? Is that what you're saying? I broke the seal?
You dropped an F-bomb last week.
Dear God.
Yeah, I know.
My grandmother.
Oh, here's the thing. I always wait for I never do things first. I wait for somebody else to do it.
Sure. Yeah.
But anyway.
You're not an early adopter.
Yeah. It was a YouTube channel that I watched, and it was a woman who put together pieces kind of like Freakonomics did, but it was about things that kind of involved but like the sex work industry and stuff like that.
Like sex work.
And it was in a way, it was very interesting, but it was like how OnlyFans completely changed porn.
Yeah.
And it talked about the money behind it and all of that.
Yeah.
Or it talked about how like sex toys, like how the fleshlight became the end all be all. Well, I'm just saying.
I just refuse to.
I know, but like how it became the end all be all because we got on a weird topic.
It is weird.
And get into
no, it's fine.
From here.
I was going to tell you, I watched the Pornhub one, which it was okay. There wasn't a whole lot of substance there. But they did mention OnlyFans at some point and how it changed kind of what was going on because Pornhub got in trouble because they weren't policing their videos the way they should, especially from people uploading stuff.
Yeah.
They would take it down and just get re-uploaded, that kind of thing, and allegations of child pornography and all kinds of stuff, which I'm assuming follows you around in that industry.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't a whole lot of how it really got started and what the real crux of the situation. It wasn't a lot of that, but it was okay. And then the second one was about the axe-wielding hitchhiker. Smash, that guy.
Hold on. Y'all decided to watch this documentary while camping out in the middle of the woods?
Yeah. He was in town. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, he had to wait for people to pick him up.
Well, do you know who I'm talking about? The smash guy?
No.
So he was riding with a guy. He was hitchhiking, got a ride with a guy. The guy went nuts, started calling himself Jesus Christ, and then tried to run over a guy that was working in the street. No, this was 2000s.
Okay, no, that's not what I'm thinking of.
Like 9, something like that. 2009.
Okay, hold on. So hitchhiker gets picked up.
His big hair. He's got a bandana on.
Well, I just need.
Yo, bro, smash. That guy.
Dude.
That guy. Yeah, but it was an axe. It wasn't a hammer. Yeah, it was an axe that he conveniently had in his bag.
When he talks about.
Yeah. And so you know the whole story?
No, I just remember that video.
Yeah, you should watch that because it turns bad quickly. Yeah. So it was very interesting, and I enjoyed that one a lot more than I thought. I thought I would enjoy the porn. I told my Pornhub.
You thought it was going to be about something else.
No.
I'm kidding.
Honestly, you know what I thought it was going to be about? I thought it would be about like mob ties and hush money and how they screwed over the, no pun intended, the initial industry and the people and stuff. I thought that would be cool to hear about, because it's a sleazy friggin' world, right?
Is there mob ties and hush money?
Well, if there are, nothing's mentioned.
Probably
so I was a little disappointed, honestly. Yeah. But the other one was cool. Yeah, it's Tech Bros. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guys sitting on a, they have the zippered hoodie and they're sitting on a desk at a TED Talk and he just happens to be talking about the analytics of porn, rather than, whatever.
Welcome to my TED Talk. Yeah, you watch Silicon Valley?
Spinning. Yes. Hot dog, no hot dog.
Russ Hanneman's. That's who starts Pornhub.
That's exactly right.
Russ Hanneman's.
Yep.
All right. So,
hey, let's do a show.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Well, you know what? I have a little bit of a teaser and a amuse-bouche, if you will, of an appetizer.
My favorite kind of bouche.
Our beak wet before we get into our main feature. And our first story takes us to Dollman Quarterly #1. We've talked about Dollman
Quarterly #1.
He was a character who could shrink himself down
to the size of a doll. Look at him holding that gun with his hand. That's fantastic.
It is. I mean, I kind of actually love the cover.
Yeah. I don't like all the red.
But Dollman was very popular at the time.
Yeah.
We'll get into Dollman at some point in time. But there was a character in this one back in, I believe, 1941. Okay. I have it pulled up. Yes, this debuted in 1941. The character we're going to talk about is a character who only made one appearance, and his name is Justin Wright. Okay.
What a titillating name.
He was created by, it's credited here as Wayne Reed, but his real name was George Brenner. A lot of times, you had writers writing so many different stories under so many different names.
The guy who ran the Yankees?
No, Stein. That's
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
Justin Wright might be I'll just let the story do this for you. Okay. So we were introduced to Mr. Justin Wright. And he's kind of been called by Telegram.
Like an insurance agent or something,
He does, but he's been called by Telegram, because it's 1941.
Sure. Stop.
From the lumber camp that he worked at as a lumberjack. He shows up at the law office of Cronin, Fox, and
Dunham and Cheatham.
And DePretta. And he walks there, and this little snot-nosed kid, because he's a real jerk, says, "Okay, Woodpecker, Mr. Cronin will see you now."
Whoa.
Right, but he looks like he's a little child. Like, look how big Justin is compared to him.
He is a very small man.
Anyways, Justin goes in, meets with this lawyer, and the lawyer tells him, like, "Hey, I bet you're wondering why I called you clear across the continent to, come." And he's like, "Yeah, I am." And he goes, "Well, it's your 26th birthday. And you fall heir to your mother and father's fortune." That's what he's like. "Hey, I telegrammed you to tell you this."
So is this his brother?
No, this is a lawyer.
Oh, the lawyer's saying, "Hey, you fell into their fortune
26,
at 26."
26.
Yeah,
you've aged into their fortune, and your parents.
It was supposed to be 25, Justin. I'm sorry, we were just busy.
"Mother and father, I didn't know I had any parents." So this man thought
he was a test tube baby.
That he was just a baby. Well, I don't know. It just says he didn't think he didn't have any parents. If he just thought, like, I don't know who my parents are, somebody raised me.
He's an orphan.
Or if he just thought, I'm the only kid who never had parents.
I was just here one day. Orphans are a big deal in comics.
Yeah,
lots of orphans.
Well, just think, Batman came out 2 years before this. Yeah. But it gets better, because after hearing that, you would think that man would be like, "Yeah, you had parents." He tells him, "Yes, when you were a baby, they were murdered."
No easing into it or anything.
No, just rips that Band-Aid straight off.
Yeah.
The guy says, you went from one relative to another until finally trace of you was lost." So yes, this man honestly thought he did not have parents, I'm assuming.
That's sad.
He tells him, "Last week, one of my investigators found you, and here you are, no longer a lumberjack, but a fabulous, wealthy young man." So now he's become a socialite, right?
Yeah.
He gives him this lockbox.
Is it socialite if you're a guy? thought that was just girls.
A local? Well, what's the male version?
I don't know. Playboy?
Sure. Okay, he's a Playboy. By the way, you want to hear something funny that I found out this week
Please
from
tell
another
me.
book I was reading?
Please.
I'm all reading. I finished that Slugfest book, and now I'm working
Were you about to say I'm all readed up? Is that what
I don't know what I was going to say.
I'm all readed up.
Mason, the English language is not
your friend
and
today.
me are not on terms
it.
today.
Sure.
I completely botched the ending of our podcast, but
that's all right.
And now I forgot where I was going. I'm reading a book now about the history of Marvel.
Okay.
And they talk about how Martin Goodman, who was the guy who owned and ran Marvel at the time, he was also, before comics took off and got really big, he was also printing like men's magazines like Stag and like I can't remember the name of them, stuff like that. Well, another magazine came on the party. Tried to come onto the scene.
Speaking of Stag magazines.
Tried to come onto the scene and call itself Stag Party.
Oh.
And Martin Goodman, who also produced Marvel Comics, was like, no, we own Stag. You can't do that. You got to rename yours. And the guy was like, fine, okay, I'll name it Playboy.
Ah, fantastic.
There you go. So that's the one.
Poor Stag.
But Marvel Comics is responsible for it being called Playboy.
What a sad world when we lost Stag.
Stag. I just went back. I gotta say, it's funny you bring that up. It did not age great at all. Like, hey, what'd you get? Oh, I just got this month's issue of Stag in the mail.
Stag. Sounds like an STD.
Oh man,
I got the stags.
Anyway, this lawyer tells him, it's an unfortunate crime that deprived you of that privilege of parents. Oh, that's what he goes. He tells him, you're no longer a lumberjack, but a fabulously wealthy young man. And he goes, aren't you happy? And Justin goes, happy? No, I'd rather I'd known my parents.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's sad.
And he goes, well, it's an unfortunate crime that deprived you of that privilege. Something should have been done.
It was a big whoopsie, Justin. Sorry.
Something should have been done. And Justin goes, something will be done. No.
Caught himself.
I'll go now.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
He's also given this lockbox. He goes back to the hotel there.
Is there any similarity here between Batman and this guy? I mean,
just wait.
He found out his parents were dead. And now he's going to be a vigilante.
No, you would think that would make this better.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No.
He contacts another lawyer.
He's walking with that lockbox under his arm, leaving the lawyer.
Did the lawyer just have a lockbox full of money to give him?
He's like, you got this money and this is left for you too.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And so he's walking and he goes, maybe the best quote of this book. Granted, I was turned on to the story from the League of Regrettable Superhero Books by John Morris I've talked about in the past. Yeah. Brought me to this, but this quote, crime robbed me of parental love. Something's got to be done to stamp out crime. Something will be done.
Wow. This guy's got big dreams.
Yeah. So he heads back to the old house he was given. I'm sorry, he was given a house too with his fortune.
That was what was in the lockbox.
And the house is in there. But it looks like he got a little fixing up, but it looks like it's a pretty big house. And he goes, let's see what's in this box. And he opens this up, and it's a red scarf.
It's the skulls of his parents.
No, and it's a red silk scarf. And he goes, man, I bet you this was my mom's, and I bet you she really looks swell wearing it. And then he goes, you can see plainly through this, but you can't see behind it. And it shows him holding it over his face in the mirror. Just wait, Mike. And he goes, I've got it. I'll use this as a blindfold mask, like Justice. When he says like Justice, he's talking about Lady Justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So he ties it around his face to use as a mask. And I vow an unending war against all that is evil in the name of justice. So I'm going to let you get it now. That's his costume.
Oh, wow. He's the bounty man with tall boots, like stripper boots. And could his waist get smaller?
Yeah.
And then dude's packing some pretty big muscles.
Yeah, but
and then he's
has
just got a scarf over his face.
His face.
That's lovely. It's not even over his whole face.
No, it's just over his eyes and nose.
It's just eyebrows down to the tip of his nose in the little Yeah.
Like,
Kerchief.
If he had a beard at all, he'd be so distinguishable still.
He as a superhero, he should be called Kerchief or something. You know,
do you get why he's called Justin Wright now? Because he's out for everything just.
Oh, and
right.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, he has a calling card that I'll leave later.
Gross.
So it skips ahead a month, and we're introduced.
Why can't he change clothes?
Well, he does. We're introduced a month ahead in this story. We're introduced to Petty Dirk, who's like this mobster.
Petty Dirk.
Petty Dirk is his name.
Nice.
He's taken over. But this Justin Wright guy's causing all sorts of havoc. What they're trying to do.
You've seen all these take-a-penny trays around town, right? We're gonna get all of them. All of them.
Dirk tells his boys to like go murder somebody and go tell the cops that you saw this Justin Wright guy do it to get him out of our hair. Yeah. Well, as they go to do this murder, guess who shows up? But our own Justin Wright.
Oh, now he's in a suit. He's looking snazzy.
And then
with the big old kerchief over his face. That's now white.
Yeah.
Why is it white?
Well, here's the thing. You asked that. They changed it on the very next page. It's red again.
It's back to red. Oh, maybe it turns red when you see injustice.
Maybe. So he fights off.
Or don't see because you got a freaking kerchief over your face.
He fights off Petty Dirk's guy who was going to kill the innocent man.
Sure.
And he slaps a sticker on his forehead that says, Just in Right. That's on
God, come on.
the scales of justice. It's a very basic.
These petty criminals are known for being pretty sweaty. I'm just saying that's probably not real effective.
Yeah. We get a gag though to close out the first appearance. So like he stops the evildoers.
Again, this guy's never been seen again, right? Okay. All right.
This is
one
only
issue.
Appearance, right?
One issue in a stag magazine.
No. This was in Doll Man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doll Man. I get those two confused all the time. Yeah.
Doll Man was reputable at the time.
It's according to what your kind of stag is.
And this is but so he captures the bad guys, gets all the evidence. Mm-hmm. We end with a gag where like the captain of police is like, "Hey, check out my new door. It has the glass and my name on it. That's on it." Like, and they're all bragging about it. And the other guy's like, "Man, I'm glad we got rid of those wood doors to have the ones with glass and your name on it. I wish I could have my door with glass and name on it." All for Justin Wright to throw his signature calling card, a brick, through the glass.
A brick.
Yes.
That's my calling card, a brick.
He throws through a brick. It says, "Then without warning," and it scares them. And he picks it up.
Should.
And there's a note on the brick that says, "Dear Captain, this bundle of records contains enough evidence to put Schizone and Dirk behind for life." That was the other mobster he found.
Sure.
And it has his Justin Wright sign, like
wonderful,
with the things. And the chief just goes, "I'll get that bird, Justin Wright, if it's the last thing I'll do."
Somebody should buy the rights up to this and make this into like a Will Ferrell comedy. You know?
Yes. So that's it. So it ended with a gag of the captain was like, "Who cares about those monsters he got? He ruined my window."
Freeze frame. Credits.
Boom. And that is a perfect time for us.
Hey, just real quick before you throw it to a commercial. Have you ever watched Police Squad?
No.
The TV show?
No.
Leslie Nielsen. It was before the police, not Academy. No. What were the ones he was in?
The Naked Gun?
Naked Gun. It was before those.
No.
It's what Naked Gun came from. So it was a short-run TV series done by the guys who did Airplane. Each week was, it was like an old-timey cop show, like Dragnet or something. But at the end of every one of them, they would do freeze frame, but nothing was frozen. Like, it would just be the two guys, and like if he were pouring coffee, it would just keep going and keep going and keep going. It was wonderful.
That's so funny you say that. I watch on YouTube. There's a interviewer named Nardwar who works for.
I know who that is. Yeah.
You know how he ends all of his interviews? He does the same. He goes, keep on rocking the free world and do, and he holds it for them to do, and then he just freezes and smiles.
Just awkwardness.
Yeah, and the guest is just like, some will play along with him, others will just like leave.
That's great.
He's
telling you, man. Police Squad. Go.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
Walk, don't run. I mean, the other way around.
Run, don't walk to Police Squad.
Yeah.
Also, please take a time. See, I told you I couldn't. Please take a moment to take a break before you run to Police Squad.
That's right.
To listen to these sponsors.
Wipe yourself down.
hope that you were able to wipe yourself down before you're able to go on that run. That has to be the weirdest rejoin I've ever come
Wipe
back
yourself
with.
down? Yeah.
Wipe yourself down.
Hey, man, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to lend new experiences to your ears.
So now we're going to introduce you to our main event, if we will. This
Let's get ready to comics.
Also came out that same year in 1941 from Choice Comics, number 1 through number 3. Although number 3 is an incomplete story, I could not find the full scan for it anyway, and I don't think it would have helped anyway because it did not make sense at all. So we're going to cover the 2 stories, and I'll just let you look at the third one.
That doesn't say Choice Comics. That says Choice Omics.
No, the C is supposed to be for both choice.
It still says Omics.
See,
you can't use a letter twice.
Well, no, it's Ois and Omics.
Hoist.
Hoist Omics.
C. Hoist Omics.
But we'll talk about the 2 stories that are full length that we get to about, Mike.
Well, I'm already excited about this one because we've got this devilish looking kangaroo.
I was hoping that's what you'd be excited about.
Punching men in the face.
Because we're going to talk about Kangaroo Man.
Oh, wonderful.
With Bingo, the amazing kangaroo.
I love Bingo.
So there's not a lot to these issues in file of
no shit. There's not a lot to Kangaroo Man and Bingo? What?
This is back in the 40s when comic books took off. So many
kangaroos were
many publishers popped up, and it was all about how much product can we get out there, and they tried to flood the market.
Yeah, sure.
It's essentially the same thing. If you know about video games, the video game crash of 1983 was caused because nobody was.
It was the same thing with trading cards.
Everything. Everybody gets in, the market gets flooded, then nothing
STDs.
Matters. I mean, but back in before I saw where you could like trade in proofs of purchase for your dog food and get an Atari 2600 game back. So,
well, I just remember when Atari 2600 games were behind the counter at Eckerd's. You had to say, I'll take that one, like a pack of cigarettes or something. And then I remember a time where it transitioned and they just had like one of those $5 bins just full of games.
Because they would take whatever they could get for them. And it crashed so hard at that point.
And they were some awful, awful games.
But, so, these were pushed out very quickly, so there might not be a lot to. Our general setup is our main man here, who is, they call him Kangaroo Man, actually has a real name. His name is Jack Bryan.
From Australia?
Yeah, no, he's a daredevil American explorer, and his trained kangaroo Bingo, who understands Jack's every signal and gesture, and he joined the battle against enemy agents who schemed to destroy America.
Have you ever seen inside one of their pouches?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Gross.
I don't. What is
mucus filled?
Really?
Yeah, it's gross.
So, like, when baby kangaroos pop out, are they just always wet?
That's what it sounds like whenever they come out.
I don't need sound effects.
Boing, boing, boing. Boing, 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 boing.
It's like the like when you get an ultrasound, the petroleum jelly that's just left on.
Yes, or it's like if you buy the slime in a can and you stick your finger down in it.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
Well, let's talk about not their pouches.
And they're wet.
Because this is a male kangaroo.
Oh. Don't they have pouches? I think they all have pouches, don't they?
Okay, I don't know.
No, they have pockets. Girls have pouches.
Okay,
I don't know. Didn't pay attention in that class.
But our first story has us essentially. I'm trying to remember what this one is. Who does he fight? I don't remember. It's bad guys.
The Anti-Kangaroo Coalition.
I'm trying to remember what these bad guys are. One of them's not. The second story is going to be Nazi soldiers that escaped. But the beauty of this is everybody's just kind of cool with Jack bringing his kangaroo around everywhere.
Sure, why not? Kangaroos are adorable until they kick
meet
in the
this
face.
old man who tells him that he's sent for Jack to help break up a ring of enemy agents who are sabotaging our defense. Very generic, problem.
Sure, yeah.
So they hop in a plane, right? And they fly the plane.
No pun intended there?
No, they actually hop in a plane.
Oh, they hopped. Oh, they literally bounced and hopped into a plane.
In a plane. And
they came on. They hopped off a boat, too.
They did hop off at a boat, which, by the way, it shows them jumping off essentially the top of a ship onto the deck. Jack's breaking his legs.
Oh, yeah. Jack is dead.
I don't know about the kangaroo. I don't know how their bone structure works, but
look at how he's falling, though.
He's hitting
I think he's going to crack his pelvis. Yeah.
It's kind of like he's jumping. He's like, oh, I mistimed it. But my favorite part of this, Mike, of all this comic is they give thought bubbles to Bingo.
Oh, wonderful.
So while they're in the plane, also, every time he speaks, it just is RSP exclamation point, RSP exclamation point. So risp is apparently
loud,
what a kangaroo sounds like.
People out loud
are
going to hear
risp. Yep.
Risp.
And while he's in the plane, you hear that, but he thinks, don't care much for the air up here. Because Bingo's a comedian.
Sure. Well, he can hop high, but not that high.
They're shot at by a gun by these evil defenses. Again, I would rather focus on the cool things.
It's a giant gun.
It is. I don't really care about they beat the villains and all this. Yeah. The cool thing about these comics,
you just gave the ending?
Sorry, I spoiled every single every single issue we're going to cover. The cool thing is all the things that Bingo does and his talking.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So they have to escape from the plane since it got shot by the gun, right?
Yeah.
Bingo's able to parachute.
Oh, Bingo's been parachuting for a long time. Yeah.
And Jack says, "Happy landing, Bingo." To which Bingo responds, "Rips, I hope."
That's what he's thinking is, I hope.
I hope. They land by
So it's kind of like a I Am Groot situation, right? But it all comes out as
rips. But it's like if you got thought bubbles to know what Groot meant while you're So then he lands by the bad guys, and it says, Jack gives Bingo his signal. The clever kangaroo swings into action, and he smacks him with his tail as he thinks, try to dodge this, because Bingo is very, very proud of what he does.
Now, what is the signal to a kangaroo? What signal do you give them?
It doesn't show. Like, there's a lot of that.
I think it's this. You take your first two fingers like you're making a little man, right? And you just go, like you kick with one of your fingers.
You have to put your other hand underneath it for like a
Go, Bingo. Get him, Bingo.
But
go.
You say it too?
Yeah.
I feel like the people could be like, oh, he's about to try to.
Oh, no, not a kangaroo.
Yeah. So they fight off Bingo. Like, here's the thing: is it shows sometimes where
kangaroo
on
a parachute
where Jack hits some of these bad guys, but a lot of the fighting is done by Bingo.
Sure, I would have my kangaroo do the fighting too.
He jumps up and like kicks guns and like
You ever seen him? Have you ever seen him kick a person?
Dude,
oh my
it's vicious.
I saw one of their feet go through an old lady one time.
With great enjoyment, Bingo mops up the nest of bad guys, and he goes, haven't had this much fun in a year. Because Bingo loves beating up bad guys.
I wonder what Bingo did a year ago.
I don't know. But Jack and Bingo plow through the dense brush where they've crash landed. They beat up the first bad guys. They're pushing through now.
Hadn't had this much fun in a year that I've been sober.
And Jack tells him,
the kangaroo.
Holy smoke, Bingo. They've stolen the whole train.
Oh.
They realize that they've stolen a train.
That's a hell of a crime.
Yeah. So Bingo and Jack both hop on. They jump onto the train, right? Then they fight off.
Does it say they hop on?
It does say instantly Jack and Bingo sprint for the train.
Oh, sprint.
And Jack says, we'll hop the freight, Bingo.
Oh, boy.
So they hop on there and they fight through all these villains shooting at them.
I will say this art is much better than the first one we looked at.
I mean, the art's
good.
actually
pretty good.
And they ride the train to...
Especially for the 40s, because there was some sloppy shit going on back then, yeah.
They pull along a dock on a narrow inland river, and they see that an unloading crew waits to shift the valuable munitions off the train to where, like, they're trying to steal the munitions, right?
Sure.
But thankfully, Jack and Bingo are there.
Jack and Bingo.
To... where is this? Hold on.
This Saturday night at 8 p.m., Jack and Bingo.
Furiously, the freight loaders attack, but they don't count on Jack's and Bingo's. I just realized they apostrophe S both. So
Jax's and Bingo's.
And Bingo's overwhelming defense. Bingo goes risp as he kicks two in the face for just two down.
Risp.
Bingo terrific kick sends a thug sailing into a crate of nitroglycerin. Risp. Happy landing.
So he blew a human up.
And it lands and it explodes. And it says with a thunderous detonation, the freighter's foredeck splinters into one gaping hole.
Well, yeah, that's that contains a human skeleton in many, many pieces.
But in the melee, two ringleaders escape to their plane.
Oh, no.
Right? But Jack notices there's another plane and goes, good, there's two planes around, but this one's small. You'll have to ride on a wing, Bingo.
What the?
And Bingo goes, riffs. I've ridden in worse places.
Like what, Bingo? What is the worst place you've ridden in, Bingo? This sounds terrible.
To which we then see Bingo.
He's on the wing of the damn plane.
Bingo, the crime-fighting kangaroo, flies up and thwacks the back of the plane with his tail.
Is my favorite.
That breaks the end of the tail off, and it causes the plane to crash. They land, and it says, quickly, Jack brings the plane to his plane to a safe landing. His soldiers rush and seize the two thugs. They're tamed now, Bingo. And he just says, "Risp." Here's my favorite part, because there's a running thing.
Okay.
At the end, it says, Bingo is rewarded after they've saved the day, as usual, with his favorite candy. You want to guess what Bingo's favorite candy is? Spoiler alert, it's not candy.
Starlight Mint.
Cod liver oil capsules.
Oh, he loves them.
Which Jack always carries. And he goes,
Jack's a stinky boy if he's carrying those around with him all the time.
There you are, pal. Earned your dessert today. And that's how it ends. Then
cod liver oil capsules.
Then our second issue, because he got cover again for Choice Comics number 2, right?
Sure did. Well, him and somebody else. Who's the other one?
It just says True Life, three thrilling true stories.
Okay. So, this one looks like it has a superhero in it.
It does, but Bingo says, "These silly zooming super guys amuse me. I'll show them a thing or two on the cover." To which a parrot responds to Bingo and says, "You said it, Bingo. Let's go."
A parrot.
A parrot talked to the talking kangaroo.
You know, we've got this great comic with Jack and Bingo. Lots of action. We've got plenty of great humor and jokes in it. How can we improve this, guys?
What's
a parrot.
Parrot.
We need a parrot.
So this is one where Nazis in a Canadian internment camp or war camp of some sort break free and they escape. I don't know why Bingo and that's what it. Bingo and Jack, because I'm going to say Bingo first because he's the star, obviously, are at this Canadian army camp. What is it at? Oh, he tells them. He thanks the major for having him there, and Jack tells them, "We're all ready to stage a boxing bout for the boys." So Bingo and Jack are at this Canadian army camp to basically put on a boxing match for the Canadian troops. Because this is like a USO, except it performs for just troops of other countries.
CSO.
How would you feel, though? Like, let's say you're in the army, right? You're a Canadian soldier. And you're like, "Hey, these Americans want to put on this kangaroo boxing match for you." And you're like, "I don't really want to go."
You're like, "What's that all about?"
Yeah, but you're like, "I don't really want to go." But you feel obligated to go because somebody's putting it on. You're like, "Oh, man, these Americans thinking we want to watch their kangaroo
match. Demonstration.
They don't even live here."
No.
I don't know if it's a situation like that. That just went
Last
through my
time
mind.
it was just a poodle in a skirt.
That was at least it was able to, spin those plates on that stick, and that was cool. But so they hear that prisoners escape, and
I never understood that. That was a big. I appreciate that you can do it.
Well, I can't.
Well, I can't either, but we haven't really tried either, though, Zach. I mean, it's not like we put in a lot of practice in spinning on the plate.
Fair enough.
Do you start with a smaller pole? I mean, a bigger pole, and then you graduate to smaller and smaller?
You do smaller plates.
Oh, that's how it works.
You go with a smaller plate.
Always with the flimsy-ass pole, but you got to start with a small plate.
Because it's easier to keep her,
Yeah.
No,
Styrofoam.
I'm sure it's a little more taut before you get a little flimsy.
Sure.
But so
aren't we all?
These soldiers, again, Mike, I'm surprised you didn't bring it up. The amount of times we talk about Nazis in comics.
It's just, I just know there's Nazis at this point. You're talking 40s, there's Nazis.
Yeah, so the Nazi soldiers.
Surprised the freaking kangaroo doesn't have like a doppelganger that's a Nazi kangaroo.
Just wait till issue.
Oh my God, I hope so.
No, it's not.
That would be wonderful.
So Jack and Bingo hear the prisoners escape, so they hop in the car to go after them, and they come to a bridge. But they're late because the soldiers have got there before. They have hopped out and they have beaten up the guards on the bridge and taken their clothes. So when Jack and Bingo get there, they say, "Let us through, guards. We're Americans."
Yeah, you bastards.
And they go, and then he goes, "We heard you." And the other one says, "That's how it's written."
We heard you.
And the other one says, "And we can use your car, ja?"
Ja.
because it's not.
That's what Canadians sound like.
Well, no, this is the Germans.
No, I get it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And
these
he goes,
guys, these brilliant crime fighters here.
And he goes, if you're Canadian guards, I'm a monkey.
Oh boy, got them,
brother. Your accent gave you away, and you can use my car to go back to your cells.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jack's always got the lingo.
I mean, you're gonna have them drive themselves back to their cells. It's not a great plan, Jack.
No, I mean, maybe he's hoping they give him a ride back to camp too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're battling them when all of a sudden a carload of American fifth columnists roars onto the bridge.
American fifth colonists.
Columnist.
Oh. What does that even mean?
So that's come up a lot in comics too. They're always associated with the Nazis. I don't know. I assume it's associated in some way with that.
All right, please proceed. We'll have an answer in a moment.
But because they've always been brought up with them in some way, like fifth columnist or it's like the American Nazis in a way, I guess. I don't know. Supporters of Hitler here in America.
A group of secret sympathizers or supporters of an enemy that engage in espionage or sabotage with defense lines or national borders.
So it's just a generic.
It's just a generic term, but these happen to be Nazi-loving Americans.
I'm assuming if it's a carload of American. Here's the thing. I also found this out from that Marvel book. Speaking of Martin Goodman, when they first came out, we talked about the very first appearance of the submarine. Remember Namor?
Yeah, sure.
Around that time, not too long, like the war comics like took off big.
Yeah.
And they had like Namor and the Human Torch were the Marvel's two first heroes.
Okay. Human Torch, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not the Fantastic Four one. That's kind of a reboot of the original Human Torch. Original Human Torch was a test tube baby, essentially.
Oh, neat.
Scientists created him in like
a burning test tube baby.
Like when he comes in contact with air, he catches fire.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, but they had it where obviously, we need to fight the Axis enemies just like everybody else.
Sure.
But Martin Goodman didn't want them to actually use Hitler because he was afraid Hitler was going to sue. Seriously.
Okay.
Because America wasn't in the war at the time.
Yeah. Huh.
But once they got in the war, I guess he kind of didn't care because the first issue of Captain America is Captain America punching Hitler in the face. I think Kirby drew that up pretty.
Yeah, I think that that just shows how these conflicts happen a little at a time.
Yeah.
You know, because there was a point where they were like, oh, this dude's really battling some countries. I hope he doesn't sue us.
Yeah, like for making,
Instead of, I hope he doesn't kill us all.
But it also seems like American fifth columnists could be used as a generic, like they're not supporting the Nazis, but they're supporting the bad guys.
You know Hitler was a cannibal?
No?
Yeah.
Was he really?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
Just made it up.
That wouldn't shock me.
No, it wouldn't shock me either.
You know that the German soldiers were really hopped up on speed.
Really?
Yeah. Like that's the chemist.
Trailblazers.
No, really. Like if you look at
where'd they get Drano in the 40s?
Well, no, but I'm saying like, was it met?
Well, it's the same thing. Right?
It was meth. Basically German scientists cooked up methamphetamines for the German soldiers because it caused them to constantly be able to go.
Thanks again, Nazis.
But no, so they were able to march longer. They were able, the men were able to have more, they just use, if you look at the first 2.5 years, the Germans essentially are like winning the war.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you've turned them all into meth heads.
Uh-huh.
So they're not as functioning as well. And they start to deteriorate and they start to have, and then it starts to become a problem.
They start taking all the electronics apart.
Yeah, they would never show up on time.
So speaking of that, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit of an aside. Whenever I come down to the studio here, I have to pass a seafood restaurant in front of a very seedy hotel. Did you see the guy?
The Captain Hat guy.
Yeah. So there's a guy out there.
Brought him up. Yeah.
There's a guy out there, and he's out there, I would say 3 days a week.
Really? Okay, well, I saw him on the way here.
And he's just like proselytizing to whatever cars.
He didn't have his arms out. He was walking, he was throwing them, but he's talking.
Yelling. He's yelling.
He was talking. I couldn't hear him.
It's the first time I've seen him wearing the Captain and Tennille hat, though. He was.
Did he have a shirt on?
Yeah, he had a shirt on. He looked a lot like Jack Thunderpants or whatever that first one was.
No, he had a beard.
Oh,
glasses.
Oh, okay.
Maybe maybe
it's a second shift. It's a new guy. You go back and cook up that meth. Yeah. So when you say meth head, that
I don't know if he is. He might have.
I don't know if he is or not. But there's something going on.
He didn't like. He might be yelling at the cars, but he didn't like go over and mess with anybody.
No, not yet. It's coming.
All right.
I should captain your ship.
So
Something like that.
back to Jack and Bingo.
I'm glad you saw him. Now I know it's not a hallucination.
Yeah, it's not you. So they blow up the bridge to make an escape.
Yeah.
And Jack and Bingo try to catch up and get on their tail as they're able to steal some motorcycles. That's right. Bingo is able to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Instantly mounting
Kangaroos.
the cycle, Jack and Bingo
Naturally.
give chase. And Jack says, "You're doing okay, Bingo." And Bingo replies, "Risk, risk. Can't say I enjoy this kind of transportation."
Wah, wah.
They hop onto the Nazi's car. Bingo gives him a good old tail slap in the face.
Why wouldn't he?
He tells him, rips, have a bit of rawhide on me." Because
Gross.
Bingo likes to make jokes.
Bingo
too.
likes it raw.
Hide. I had to
Thanks.
save it.
This is a heck of a save.
A guy falls out and they leave him behind. And he essentially tells them, "What trouble are you guys hatching up? Talk fast." And he's like, "Leader's order to destroy the Glendale tank factory." Where in Canada is there a place named Glendale?
That makes tanks.
Anyway, Bingo and Jack hop on top of a bus and they ride it to the tank factory.
Is that what buses look like in Canada?
I guess, to stop these evil prisoners from taking over the tank.
What a plot.
Yeah, the tank factory. Well, Bingo's tail gets run over by a tank,
Oh, my God.
right?
Yeah, that's going to damage
While
your tail.
Jack is forced to battle the others alone without Bingo.
Oh, no.
Well, about that time, where is this? They start. Jack notices that the evil soul or the evil prisoners have a gun and they're aiming it at Bingo. They're about to shoot him.
God.
Bingo, risk.
That's a big old machine gun.
Yeah, you better be careful to Jack. He's telling him. Well, Jack finds, what is this again? Oh, but just as they aim, Jack hurls a sheet plate at the gun and it cuts the gun in half.
Excuse me, a sheet plate?
A sheet plate.
What's a sheet plate?
It just says a sheet. Oh, I'm sorry, a steel plate.
Oh, a steel plate. Yeah, sheet plate, steel plate, two different things.
Oh, the lettering's a little off. My bad. But a steel plate, still, even if you threw a steel plate from
Where'd he
like
get it?
20 feet, I don't know where you got it, but throw it from 20 feet, you're not cutting a machine gun in half with it.
You don't know Jack.
It's just logic. Then Jack goes.
Logic? When did we
Well,
when did we
sorry.
start that?
Then Jack goes and gets a crowbar to lift the tank tread up so
Yeah.
he can get free.
So
it
Jack-
did nothing to Bingo's tail.
Jack lifted a tank
Yeah.
with a crowbar
Yeah.
off his kangaroo's tail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's kangaroo's tail,
it's fine.
not hurt.
Yeah.
Long
There's nothing
story.
in it. It's all cartilage.
It is. Long story short, they end up catching the bad guys, and we end again with
Oh, is there a gag
great
at the end?
job you did, Mr. Or great job you did, Mr. Brian, Jack's last name,
Sure.
catching those Nazi prisoners. To which Jack replies, "Huh? Me? I couldn't have done a thing without Bingo. Here, pal, have a dose of your favorite candy, cod liver oil pills. Rips, oh joy." Oh, I forgot about that. Sorry. There is one thing I meant to say that I wanted to cover every cool thing Bingo does in the process of taking down the bad guys.
Sure.
Jack hops in a tank and he goes, "All aboard, Bingo. We're off to the wars." And Bingo, riffs, I can hardly wait, hops on and gets in the tank with Jack.
Sure.
And as they're going, because the villains are trying to take off in an airplane, and Jack and Bingo are riding at them in this tank, to where Jack says, "Put your head in, Bingo. We're due for a crash," because that's how they end up getting as the two crash and they stop them that way.
see, yeah.
And Bingo says, riffs, and miss the entertainment. Nothing doing.
Nothing doing. Good old Bingo.
So
Boy, I love it.
here's the thing. The third one, there's not going to be much here because we miss the first page of the story.
Oh, no.
And you would be so surprised of just how confused not having one page of story made me for the rest of the story.
Welcome to our new show, Missing a Page.
So I can just tell you that it involves a evil. He's drawn like a Native American,
Okay.
but his name is Singali.
Oh, so he's like a Middle Eastern fortune teller hypnos.
Maybe
he's
kind of the main bad guy here. It involves a silver mine.
Where is it?
There.
Oh yeah, that is weird. Yeah, he's dressed like a shaman.
But his name's Singali.
Yeah, that's weird. Huh.
So
he fights snakes though.
That's cool. Well, so here's
or is he 6 snakes on people.
That's the crazy woman who's six snakes on
6
people.
snakes.
So we're just going to cover the highlights since there's not much of a story.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, Bingo runs into the snake. He's like a snake warner. He tells them he comes to a complete stop. Oh, yeah, snake. He is very mean. Bingo is fighting Singali at one point and tells him, "Risk, you don't smell so hot."
Oh, nice.
But we find this evil.
But are we under the impression that kangaroos do smell well?
Yes.
Smell good?
Bingo has to fight a mountain lion.
Oh, yeah. Who brought the mountain lion to the party?
As it says, his name is Zuma.
Zuma the mountain lion.
He just kicks him off the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
I have to assume that happens. All we get is risk in the fight, and he says, Bingo says, "Who says kangaroos can't master strategy? Me and the Aztecs, we're both good." And he kicks him, and then the next panel just says, "Bingo shoved that lion over the edge. Broke his neck." We don't see it happen. We're just told it happened.
Me and the Aztecs?
Yeah. That's what Bingo.
Okay.
So
me and the Aztecs, you know us.
Aztecs. Trying to see. Does Bingo do anything else cool?
Well, he's in a cool red circle here.
Yeah. No, they
He's
eventually
standing there.
They catch the bad guy thanks to Bingo. He thwacks him with his tail. He hurls. Obviously, it's a sign of the times, but he uses, I guess, now considered racial insensitive things.
It's very well. I think even at the time it might have been.
Probably.
That's a rough one.
Bingo is very racist towards Native Americans named Singali.
Well, most kangaroos are.
Are they?
I mean, I don't mean to generalize, but
anyway, they save the day. But here at the end, Mike, this is the very last time we get to see Bingo.
No.
Even though it says that.
Does he die?
It says it's all over. I did my best for the witch woman, but she's happy you're dead. Oh, I'm sorry. That's part of the story. It doesn't matter. She was honestly in 3 panels.
Sure. Well, she may have been in that whole first page.
Yeah, but the person says, "Be sure Bingo gets a share of silver for all his own. If not for him," and Bingo says, "Risk, can I trade that silver for
cod liver oil pills?
A nice apple, so I'll have enough energy for my adventures in Choice Comics next issue."
Oh my God!
He
actually pimps his own comic book from within the comic book.
I should have known that he didn't ask for cod liver oil. That wasn't. That's why that issue suffered. It wasn't written
exactly
by the original guys.
Yeah. Who put this apple in here?
I don't know, but yeah, there's no Choice Comics number 4, so that was the end of that.
I just
put
Terror.
That on the end, just so it wasn't a blank white page.
There are a lot of these kind of comics out there where there's no words. This one's just called Little Terror, 6 panels. You got a guy that looks kind of like who's the
Wimpy?
Yeah, he looks like Wimpy, exactly. He's
from Popeye.
Yeah, he's holding a. Do you say? How do you say it?
Popeye.
Do you get like annoyed when people go? Let's see. How do they say it? It's Popeye or
Pie.
Pie. Does that annoy you?
I'm pretty sure as a kid I probably called him Popeye.
Really?
But I just know that was
Pie.
because, again, I was a little country kid. So, hey, y'all watch Popeye?
Hey, let's watch Popeye on the back of that horse.
I wonder if I can ride a cow next while we watch Popeye.
It's bigger. It's wider, more safe. Little Terror Wimpy has a dead plant. And then in the next panel, he goes to a lemon seller on the street because that used to be a thing.
Vendor? Yeah.
And the guy says he's trying to get his plant from him, I guess. Then there's a guy playing a flute that plays music to his plant. It's not helping. And then the little wimpy guy's drinking lemonade, watching the guy spit all over his plant, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the guy spits some more, and then Wimpy walks away and his plant's
I think the whole joke is Wimpy's plant's dead.
Yeah.
Or Little Terror's playing instead.
Yeah.
The flute player out in the street is spitting while he's playing the whole time. So he buys himself a lemon to snack on, and he just leaves the plant there.
You know
while
what it is?
He just eats the lemon and just lets the spit cause the plant to grow.
I think the joke here is that him eating that lemon in front of this guy made him salivate.
A lemon?
Well, I mean, how else do you explain all the spit that starts coming out as he's eating a lemon? You see what I mean? Like it could be.
He's getting really into it though.
Yeah.
He's closing his eye.
Well, he's eating the peel and everything there too. I think it just made the guy salivate. I think this is a
stranger.
Yeah.
That's a good place as any to end it then.
Yeah. Go Little Terror.
Go Little Terror.
Well, did we talk about Doll Man before?
Yeah, we've talked a little bit in the past about. I mean, no, we haven't done an issue on him, but we've talked about it a little bit.
Okay.
I think Will Eisner did Doll Man.
Justin Wright. What a joke.
I think that was right.
Justin Wright actually.
Hey, aren't you happy you have a lot of money? No, I wish I would have had parents. You know what? I'm going to go fight evil because the people I didn't know I had as parents 26 years ago are dead.
That's right. Yeah. That's what any sane person would do.
Here's the thing. I can even let that slide. It's just the fact I'm going to put a scarf over just from my eyebrows to the tip of my nose.
And get a kangaroo.
And then throw bricks into the...
Where did he get this kangaroo? That's what I want to know the backstory of Kangaroo Man.
I don't know.
Yeah. I want to know the backstory for Kangaroo
I thought you'd appreciate Bingo.
I love Bingo. I love Parcheesi. I love
Trouble.
His brother Trouble.
All right. So there you go. That's this week's issue/episode.
It was great, man.
Thank you. As always, I enjoy doing these with you, Mike. They're just fun to have, fun to do, fun to have, fun to do.
Fun to have, fun to do. It's Play-Doh.
Is that its?
No.
Okay. You can find us on Instagram, BroFoHero. Email us, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com. Also, check out roguemedianetwork.com.
Somebody send us an email, roguemedianetwork.com. But yeah, somebody send us an email. I mean, that would be nice.
It would be.
I would like to get some feedback.
I would.
So, can I pimp something real quick
Go
from
ahead.
within our show?
Pimp
Just
away.
like Little Terror did or whoever it was. No,
Pimp
Bingo
away.
did.
Bingo did.
Second time I've used the word pimping today, and I don't know why.
Is it making a comeback?
It was a whole different conversation I had with my wife earlier.
No. Okay.
My wife. Yeah, not that way. But anyway, we got a letter. We just got a letter. We got a letter at the Jennifer Love Hewitt Please Be on Our Show podcast.
Oh, yeah?
From a fan.
Okay.
Who explains how he watches Jennifer or Ghost Whisperer and has invented an entire drinking game to go with it.
What?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It was really great. It was really great.
That is awesome.
What I'm saying is if there's anybody out there that listens to this, if there's anybody out there that listens to this and you think, maybe I'll share my views on Bingo, the amazing monkey kangaroo.
Do you have a drinking game that involves comics somehow?
Oh, we could make one easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be easy.
Oh,
yeah.
There's enough bad stuff.
But anyway, I just.
Would you like to watch Mike and I watch very shitty comic book movies?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Like the Captain America movie from the 80s.
That one's a good one.
Or the Doctor Strange movie from the 70s.
Doctor Strange one's a whole different thing.
Or we'll find it because it's out there. The Fantastic Four movie from the 90s that Marvel never released.
We could do a short test one and watch the footage from the Tim Burton Superman movie with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, that is true.
That's a good one.
There's tons of stuff we could do.
Yeah.
We could let Mason join us if he wanted to.
Mason would love to watch shitty comic book movies with us and make fun of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's just an idea. But until next time, where we'll have something just as equally amusing, he's Mike. I'm Zach.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks,
Stay
guys.
safe.
Lick your neighbors. That's not it. What do I say at the end of this? Golly God! There it is.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.